From Princess Piggly Wiggly to trailblazing wrestler, Dannielle shares her inspiring journey of defying expectations and embracing her unique identity. We'll explore her commitment to service and the arts. Get ready to be inspired here on Twin City Tales Podcast.
From working in his family's Chinese restaurant to bartending to becoming present-day owner of Twin City Heating, Air, and Electric, my father's true superpower is human connection. Now, he's on a mission to capture the most fascinating stories that make up the Minnesota community. You're listening to the Twin City Tales Podcast.
Hey, Dannielle, thank you for coming on the show. We're really glad to have you here.
Well, thank you so much for having me. This is my first podcast. I'm kind of nervous and excited at the same time.
And it's our number 2 podcast, so I'm feeling the same way. For you people out there listening, Dannielle and I first met at a business networking event that you were part of that group.
Yeah.
And I came in as a visitor, and I'm just kind of like, I don't know anybody here. And I think you were one of the first person that came up and greeted me, and you made me feel so welcoming, and you started asking questions about me. And I kind of saw it as love at first sight. I don't know how you saw it or how you remembered it.
Well, I mean, how could I not fall in love with you? I mean, you make jokes that for me, like anybody who can make me laugh, I'm like a huge fan of. Like that's my love language. Make me laugh. So and we exchange socks. We do all the fun things. I forgot to wear my socks today though, so I'm sorry.
And I remember I gave you the pink ones at first, and you're like,
I was like, no,
those were a little too foo-foo for you.
Yeah, I don't do pink. No, I do purple.
Well, how I remembered was, honestly, you made me feel so comfortable. You were like, when I went in that room, and there was probably about 20 people there at the time.
Yeah.
You kind of just like, you were looking for like people that haven't been there before for the first timers, and you really made me feel welcome. And you have that gift about you because I've seen you do it at other events. How did that gift come about?
The gift of gab, I guess I probably got it from my mom. My mom is one of those that just talks to random strangers. My kids even joke about it. Like, grandma's talking to another rando, you know. The idea of just, you should always make everyone feel welcome, no matter where you are, who you are. My grandma is the same way. Both of those women are a huge part of who I am. My grandma has people stopping by who she's known for years, and everyone always knows that they can just stop in and come have a seat at the table, and she'll have a treat for you, and she'll have the gift of gab. You know, you always want people to feel welcome and like they're a part of whatever it is. So that's kind of where I came from.
And that really fits into like your passion. I feel like that whole community outreach that you do for Abracadabra.
Yeah. Well, the community outreach is, amazing. I love the fact that I get to, do Princess in the Park or trunk or treats or cookies with Santa or we did pitching clinics. We've done all kinds of things. We do a lot of the community events throughout the local area. And for me, that's getting to see the families, the kids smiling when they're wearing their wizard hats, and just knowing that we're not only a pest control company, we're also, trying to help the community in different ways. So I love that.
And I think you told me you guys were involved with in the Invisible Warriors project that's run by Russ Haynes.
Yeah, Invisible Wounds project. So that's another passion of mine. I love to help out. So when Russ asked me to do a few things, I'm always up for it. Anything that he needs, because the Invisible Wounds project is really, really helping all the first responders and giving them a place to just feel like they have a place to feel safe and comfortable and talk about whatever they need to talk about.
And Yeah, and I think part of your story has been like you're involved militarily, right? With the not so much like you were in the military, but you were
Yeah, my ex-husband was in the military, so at one point I was an FRG leader. So that's a family readiness group leader, where I volunteered my time to create events for the families and the single soldiers to make them feel like they weren't as homesick and they had a community within the community that they were in.
That's pretty cool. I feel like that's a lot of who you are, and that's where you have that big heart and where you really make people feel really good.
Well, I want, when I do events, whether it's for the FRG or for Abracadabra, I want people to have excitement over it and remember it and make it something that is unexpected or, just a way of making them feel like they're important in one way, shape, or form.
Neat. And then of course, Abracadabra. I when I first saw you, I would never guess pest control. And then you kind of went from like massage therapy to like bats and rats and creepy crawly things. And it's kind of like our people out there. I know they're going, wow, they're such opposites. How did you get there?
Well, I wanted to be a massage therapist. Unfortunately, a few accidents and sports injuries that I was a part of kind of made that impossible. So I found different ways to connect with people, and that's mainly what it's all about for me, is connecting with people and how I can help them. Helping someone with their back being sore versus helping them with a spider issue that they're really scared of. There are people, doesn't matter who you are, you're not, not everyone loves spiders, not everyone loves snakes. Get a bat in your house and, what do? You need someone to call. And being that, Abracadabra has, I always say, the best pest geeks in town because they love what they do. They really do. They talk about it constantly. We have a water cooler like message group where everybody's sending pictures of the creatures that they've either helped or gotten rid of or found. It's kind of fun to see how much passion that they have for their career, and it's not just a job. It's what they love. And that makes a huge difference for me.
For sure. And for you, that part of adversity, like for me, I would be like, there's no way I'm running into that to grab a rat or bats out of an attic or, to move a snake somewhere. But you're one that's not afraid of that stuff because from what I've heard stories, you've gone in with those guys. And
yeah, so when I first started, they actually had me do 2 weeks of training with the guys. I did a job shadow. The very first day was a beautiful home that ended up being a former Twins player who had bats because, really, think about it.
Well, like
it doesn't matter.
Bats, those,
he did have some of those bats in there too, but he had bats in his attic because the bats don't care how much money you make or who you are. They just want to find a warm place to stay. And if you have gaps and stuff in your house, they're going to find it and they're going to find their way in. But then you call Abracadabra and we take care of it.
Nice. Yeah, I would be adversely affected by bats or like creepy crawly things. That's one thing I don't think I can handle very well. But talking about adversity, behind, your petite, youthful, and fun appearance, there's an incredible story of overcoming adversity and to becoming the strong fighter that you are today. And with that balance of just being so personable. There's something that you told me when we talked a while back, and you said, I will never forget the number $14.73. Can you share that with our audience?
Yeah. So at one point in my life, I was living in New York, upstate New York, and I ended up with my 2 children with $14.73 in my bank account. And I will never forget that moment. That was the moment that I decided that I couldn't allow myself to ever be in that place again. But also, I couldn't allow myself to depend on anyone else to be able to get to where I want to be in life. So that was like a pivotal moment for me to decide that I needed to start having a side hustle, creating connections with people so that, you are who you surround yourself with. So I started choosing people like you to surround myself with, because when you're around people who have goals, you can surpass that goal. And having people that you can depend on really makes a huge difference. So I decided that from that moment, I was never going to be that. And, from doing different things, like I flipped my previous house to be able to take the equity to get into the home that I'm in now. I mean, most women can't say that they've done that. And I own my own house, and I've raised my kids, and I now know that I've raised my kids to never get themselves into that position either, because, education and finances is huge. And it's not something that we do in our education system, but it's definitely something we do in my house. So.
And I think like outside in society, there's like we don't always see like people's pain. Like
No.
when you were at that low point, you just kind of pushed through, but not a lot of people know about that.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of different things that, you can look at me and be like, oh yeah, everything is great in her life. Everything's perfect. But for me, it's something I don't talk about a lot, but I struggle with depression. I take medication. I am, I have my good days and my bad days, but I also don't show that to everyone. So you don't know what you don't know about people. So that's one thing you need to think about when you talk to someone. No matter how big their smile is, that doesn't mean that they're not struggling. So remember to keep everyone in mind. And if you know someone who struggles with depression, just check in with them every once in a while. You just, let them know that you're there, and let them know that if they do need to call someone, that they can call you at any point in time.
And it's not always for people that are depressed. It's not always like, fix my problem.
Oh, absolutely not. You don't. You can't just tell someone, I wish you were happier. No, that it's a chemical imbalance. It's not something that they're choosing to do or be. People struggle with depression that you'll never know. You think of some of the greatest people in the world, like Robin Williams, struggled with depression. Even though he made everyone else laugh, that doesn't mean he was. He did what he could, and he made a huge difference, but he still struggled.
Yeah. And, it's kind of funny. We kind of take I've never been diagnosed with depression or anything like that. And I don't think I've ever felt that way. But when I went to the doctors to do my annual checkup, I got this questionnaire that I had to fill out. And it's the first time I've ever seen it. But it asked me questions like, in the last 12 months, have you ever had to worry about enough money for food? Have you gotten paid and then realized that you're going to run out of food before you can buy more? In the last 12 months, have you worried about not having a vehicle to get to the doctor to actually get what you need or get the medications that you need? That's reality for some people, and that's really sad.
Yeah, and do you feel safe at home? In the last couple weeks, have you felt like life is too hard? Like, there are so many things that people don't think about because they're very blessed in one way, shape, or form. But the best thing that I do, and I try to preach to everyone I know, is pay it forward, because you don't know what other people are dealing with. So I'm constantly volunteering and doing different things because I know what it's like to live paycheck to paycheck. I know what it's like to struggle to put food on the table. As a single parent, I've been through a lot, but I also look at I'm not the only one that's had to struggle like that. So if I have the chance to donate something or do something for a good cause, I'm all about it because we're only as strong as our weakest link. So, and that is everyone, not just, you and me. It's everyone that surrounds us. So we need to do what we can to help each other.
I love your big heart. That's what I really knew when I first met you. I knew that that's who you were. In fact, I think at that event you were giving out I think you might have been giving out those hats, those wizard hats.
Wizard hats, yes.
and you were giving out wizard water, and then I think you guys did some big event. You're just giving away a lot of stuff, which is really just your big heart really shows it. And I feel like your story comes from some of that.
Yeah. So. Well, I think it's, if you can take those little things that make somebody's day, whether it's holding the door open or just smiling back at someone, that makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
That might be that one smile that gets them through the day.
Yeah.
That, you just never know how you're affecting people, but, the golden rule, treat others the way you want to be treated. My mom taught me that growing up, and I will forever live that way.
And sometimes I think that's great. I feel like, and we talk about sometimes, and I hear this and read about this every once in a while, men have a tough time, they don't know how to fix things, but that's their thing, right? Is the fixer. Yeah. And like you said, be there for them. And it's sometimes when you said to me the other day, I'm like, that makes sense. Sometimes this is not just about coming in and fix it or what can I do for you? It's just let me listen to what you have to say.
Yeah, just listen to me, just be there. Just give me a hug and tell me, you know what? We'll get through this. You'll get through this. That kind of thing.
Wow.
Because those moments are far more helping than, oh, let me do this for you and that'll make it better. Let me get you this, it'll make it better.
Yeah.
Not everything can make it better, but it can make it okay.
And then you said just being there for somebody, even if you just sit next to them.
Just sit next to them, say, hey, I'm going to come over and watch a movie with you. They're not going to say no. They're going to just be okay and know that they have somebody who wants to be there no matter what. And that's huge.
It is, isn't it? It's just that feeling of strength and being with somebody that you have.
Get them outside. I would say the one best thing I do for my depression is getting out, even if it's just for, a walk or it's just to go sit outside and get that fresh air. Because your body just needs the sunlight. Your body needs activity. And those things really help with depression.
Yeah. Well, we're going to take a break right now, I think, and then we'll come back and do a couple more things, and we'll wrap up the show. Tired of lugging heavy bags of water softener salt from the store? Twin Sea Heating, Air, and Electric now delivers premium water softener salt right to your home in returnable, reusable 20-pound containers to go green and light it up to save you from injury. Serving the north suburbs, we're your neighbors who know how hard our water is. No more running out of salt and dealing with spotty dishes and stiff laundry. Quality salt, reliable delivery, local service you can trust. Because at Twin Sea Heating, Air, and Electric, we don't just keep your home comfortable, we keep your water soft and your life easy. Twin Sea Heating, Air, and Electric, now with water softener salt delivery. Call today or visit us online. And we're back from break, and I'm about to present you a picture that your mom sent me.
Okay.
You might laugh at it. I don't know if it's a good one of you, but I thought it was very cute.
Oh, That is adorable.
For our listeners out there, there's a picture of Danielle, older than 5, but younger than 10, I believe.
Yeah, I would guess like maybe first or second grade.
She's dressed in a cute little blue blouse, all wide-eyed and looking confident as a young grade schooler. There is no way this girl would love bats and rats and creepy crawly things.
I may have looked really, really nice, but that was all my mom. My mom used to dress me up. That's actually a dress. My mom used to put me in dresses all the time growing up. I was her only girl. So when it came to, picture day, she would always dress me up. Or if we were going to a bridal shower or a baby shower, she'd put me in a dress. But the problem was if there was too much time between me being dressed and us leaving, I would go climb up trees and hang upside down in a dress. And of course, at my grandma's, there was pine trees, and back then you wore tights a lot. So I would have sap all over my tights and rips and holes. My mom used to call me Princess Piggly Wiggly because she would try to dress me up nice, but it just didn't last very long. I was really a tomboy growing up, despite that picture.
And you have, how many brothers do you have again?
I have 5 brothers, but I grew up with 3 of my brothers. Yeah.
And
So-
that toughened you up a little bit. Like
Yes, absolutely. With my brothers, all of them, well, the 3 I grew up with were all in wrestling, along with my uncles. So I grew up around wrestling. So for me, you had to be tough. You had to be able to put up with it. My brothers would grab me and say, "Hey, Danielle, come here. I want to show him a new move I learned today." Which eventually, when I was a senior, my mom, junior high and high school was like, "Nope, you can't be a wrestler. You can't wrestle. You can't wrestle." And I said, "Why not?" "Because you're a girl. Girls aren't supposed to be touched by boys like that." And I'm like, "But I want to wrestle." Finally, my senior year, I turned 18 and was like, "Well, I'm 18. I'm an adult. I can either sign myself up or you can sign me up." So my senior year of high school, I joined the boys wrestling team. I was one of the first female wrestlers in St. Francis. I was the first female wrestler to graduate from St. Francis. So it was super exciting.
Wow, what a story. I didn't even know that about you.
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy. So,
Yeah.
and then you had to wrestle other guys probably in that same weight class?
Yep. So 112.
How did that work out? And you probably got a win or 2 maybe there?
Yeah. I had 1 pin, a couple wins, couple losses. It was about 50-50. For a first year wrestler, that's not too bad. Considering I didn't have the practice that most people did. I did get to win a varsity match by a bye, but I had a varsity win under my belt.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Don't mess with Danielle. That's all I know now.
Yeah, my boys still know that I'm a good wrestler. Because that's the one thing I have on them. They may be taller than me, but I can wrestle them still and show them who's boss.
Now, how did the guys take it, the ones that lost you? I can't imagine it'd be easy on them.
I feel like it sucked for me because my intention was not to make anyone feel emasculated by any means. It was something that I grew up with and I wanted to be a part of it. I did find out one of the guys quit wrestling, which really disappointed me because unfortunately at that point there wasn't a lot of female wrestlers. So a guy being beat by a girl definitely made a huge, everybody teased him and that kind of thing. But for me, I'd always been one of the guys. In my mind, that's how I grew up. I was a tomboy. Our whole neighborhood, it was a bunch of boys. I grew up with the Carlsons, the Pudlicks, all of those guys. And we would all hang out and get together and we would play football and baseball in the backyard. So for me, it was weird that someone would look at me differently because I was a female, because I didn't grow up with that concept, because I had all older brothers. I had all the neighborhood guys. Only had 2 girls that I hung out with growing up.
Yeah.
So,
That's interesting because I feel like somewhat like you fit in so well, and I always the psychology of these things, right? Like you just but you just did it because you felt like you assimilated with the guys because you just felt like you were one of them, and you I'm going a little different direction here, but I think for me was a little different, and you probably know I'm a little more outgoing. I try and fit in with a lot of different groups. I see myself growing up as in the 70s in a very predominantly Caucasian neighborhood in Hopkins. I was like the only Asian kid there, right? So part of my as a young kid felt like I just need to assimilate. I'm not one of them. I'm, one of you guys. And I think a lot of times when you go into situations like that, or all of a sudden you feel like the outcast, such as that one kid that wrestled you and lost, now he felt outcast. So it's a tough position to be in, no matter which side it is sometimes, isn't it?
yeah. Well, I always look at it as it doesn't matter who you are, everyone struggles with something. And no matter, how confident someone seems on the outside, doesn't mean they're that confident on the inside, for sure. So looking back, some of my friends that I thought had everything, when I eventually spent some time with them and their families and realized that just because they had a lot of money doesn't mean they had a good home life. You don't know what people are going through, but you try to do your best and be your best. Well, me hanging out with the guys, that was my best. That's still my best. Some of my best friends are still guys.
For you people listening out there, this is so amazing. I feel like it's just a reminder for everybody in this world to just do their little part and pay it forward, right? Because we just don't know who we run into, or what they're going through. I just see it all the time, and I just feel like after going to my doctors and then having this conversation with you, I know we as a society need to really look at the other side without like pinpoint lenses, like narrow vision. We really have to see who they really are. We got to see the iceberg underneath, because you only see the top of the iceberg, but you don't actually know what's going on underneath, which is just, I think it's fantastic having you talk about that.
Yeah.
Being so open and a little more vulnerable about it. But getting back to the picture, I was curious. I was thinking like, at that age, what were you aspiring to be? I'm sure it wasn't wrestling at that time, at that age, but
when I was little, I actually wanted to be a firefighter. Yeah. So, and just so happened when I was 12, my house burned down. So I really admired the firefighters being willing to just sacrifice themselves for others. That was extremely inspiring to me, that they were willing to drop everything, drop their life at that moment to rush, to get into a fire truck, rush into a flaming building and take care of it. Like, who does that? Only people who really truly care about others more than themselves. And I always looked at that as something that, I wish I would have done. But unfortunately, with my injuries, I wasn't able to.
But you're kind of doing the same thing right now with your community outreach and all the nonprofits you help out. I mean, you touch a lot of lives doing that, and that's an amazing thing.
Well, I mean, Mother Teresa was actually one of the people that inspired me growing up as well. The things that she would do and how she would, give of herself more than she would take. That's super important to me. I want to give back to everything and everyone I can. So, Invisible Wounds, Paws for Paws. I give blood to the American Red Cross. It's all those things. Right now, I am co-chairing the Hallberg Center for the Arts Gala. They started 10 years ago, and they've created a community for people who are in the arts to really express themselves and have a place of camaraderie. And it's beautiful. And they do monthly events where they change out the art, and you can go in there and see. And I mean, they're giving people in the arts community a place, and that's super inspiring to me.
And we have to have that creativity constantly flowing. Otherwise, as a society, we don't get better, I feel like.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And so looking at that picture, what would you tell what would your younger version of yourself think of you, of what you become today?
Wow. That's hard because, I mean, I had different goals back then, but I look at where I've gotten myself through the things that I've gotten through, and she'd be really proud. Really proud. But I'd also want to tell her that no matter what, people aren't always going to be as good as you are, and that's okay. But you just need to remember who you are and keep going.
Wow. You are an amazing young lady. That's all I know. I'm so glad to have you on the show. And
well, thank you for having me. This has been fun.
Who is someone you think you would love to see on this show or hear from?
I mean, I have my side of who I am, but like my brother Travis, honestly, so inspiring. He decided that he was going to take an old rundown mini golf course and just transform it, and he has done so well. And I'm just always impressed by where he's at and what he's doing. So shout out to my brother Travis. You better get on this podcast.
I actually got a wonderful chance to meet Travis, and he has great ice cream out there at his golf place in Chicago City. And the one thing that I was amazed at, or was like, wow, this guy has some goals. Like, he built the longest hole in the world. Like, he had Guinness. Did that ever pass? Did Guinness come out?
He's working on that right now with Guinness. So he will be in the Guinness Book of World Records, which is something that, we used to go to the Scholastic Book Fair, and he would always get the Guinness Book of World Records. So no surprise that was his, a goal of his. And he's making his dreams come true.
Yeah, it was like, was it like 1,200 feet or something like that?
I mean,
it was a long ways. It was all the way down.
It's like
one
a
side.
13 par or something. I don't even know.
13 for a mini golf. It went down one side and then
it goes back and then back again and then and then down and it goes down a slope. It's insane.
It's a crazy hole. And it's cool too because he has all these moving dinosaurs that are like roaring at you while you're trying to putt.
Yes.
And the name of it again is
Green Lagoon Golf.
Green Lagoon Golf. That's right.
In Chisago City off of 8.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to get out there once again. I mean, that was pretty
I'm gonna go out there again just for the ice cream.
Yes.
That's how I go there. If he needs help, I'm there. But I always say, if you don't have big money, I'm not working for you.
What's your ice cream of choice there?
Big Muddy.
Big Muddy. Oh, that's what you said. That's right.
Yeah.
I have to admit, I'm kind of like an old person ice cream lover. I get the butter pecan there.
That's my grandma's favorite.
I know, right?
No, and she gets he brings her ice cream a lot. So yeah.
Yeah, the magician behind the scene once said to me as I brought home butter praline, and he was younger then. He goes, "That's old people ice cream. How come you don't get like cookies and cream?" But before we go, I do have a little gift for you. And I will start out with this.
I was going to say.
Thank you for being on the show.
Oh, cute. Thank you for being awesome.
I didn't have it engraved, but your name is on there for our number 2
Twin
show.
Cities Tale, number 2.
And I'm hoping you might like this. I got you. Bats and Rats socks.
Oh, awesome. Yes. Now I have more socks to wear for work. And this one's got purple on it. Perfect.
Yes. I was making sure I didn't get you like those pink colors or the soft
Yeah.
pastel
I mean,
colors.
the mouse got a little bit of pink, but they actually do, so it's okay.
Well, I can't thank you enough again, Danielle, for coming on our show.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It was, it's always great to hang out with you and chat, but it's always, I always learn something from you.
Wow, I'm humbled. I'm humbled by you saying that, because you just have all this amazing story of what you've been through, and and I know the audience actually. Well, what's not to love about Danielle and her big heart? So I appreciate it, and again, if you want to learn more about Danielle, and you can visit her company's website at www.abracadabraenvironmental.com. Again, that's www.abracadabraenvironmental.com, or we have a Twin City Tales Facebook page that we're going to be getting going. We're going to post it on there for you. And as we roll out of here, I want to thank Chris Hockey for using the use of his song Thanks, no pun intended. This podcast powered by Twin City Heating, Air, and Electric. And until the next show, you can't go wrong with Wyman Along on Twin City Tales Podcast.
Fantastic. That was awesome.
This song goes out to my family, to all the ones who died before me. I'm sure the family life made you do things you never wanted to, so I wrote this